All right, everyone. Welcome to tonight's Caregiver 411, and those who are watching online, glad to have you here. It's my honor tonight to have a good friend of mine, Judy Lager, here to be able to go over exercise that you can do at home, something that is hard when especially we don't have a lot of time. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Judy.
Thank you. We even picked the same colors and didn't even know it.
Well, nice.
All right. So, yes, tonight's topic, of course, is Caregiver Fitness, 3 ways to sneak in exercise without leaving your house. Because, yes, as caregivers, in particular, the idea of taking even an hour or an hour and a half to go to the gym and even just take a class is a luxury that a lot of you can't do. So, tonight I'm going to show you some simple ways that you can incorporate exercise that you can do easily at home. You can involve the kids with it, make it a little bit more fun. I say we'll go and just throw in some extra music, because good music always makes everybody want to do something, right? So that we will do. And let's see here next. All right, so the picture's probably going to be fuzzy, but that's okay. My name is Judy Lager, and I am a personal trainer, and I've been in the fitness industry for the last 20 years, both as a group fitness instructor as well as a personal trainer. My key market is primarily for adults 55 or 50 and above, but also my heart goes out to people that are just wanting to get back into the gym or some kind of exercise program. So, because you don't know what you don't know if you've never exercised in the past or it's been a long time, the idea of stepping into a gym, it can be very intimidating. You don't know what to do, what type, how to work the equipment. You think everybody's staring at you. They're not, but that's how you feel. And so I like to help take that intimidation away and give people the confidence to be able to, in working with me initially, and then but also then giving the confidence to be able to go into the gym if you want and be able to do things and feel like you've got a good balance of being able and confidence to be able to go in and I know what weight to use on this machine. I know what to do for this weight. I know how to do these exercises and make it a lifestyle that you can keep. So, since we have a small audience here, but that's okay, is what are some of the challenges that, and you can give me with some of the questions that you've had from the people from SOAR, but what are some of the challenges that keep you from exercising on a regular basis?
Time's a big one. Mm-hmm.
Childcare.
Childcare is a big one.
Sure.
Now, of course, and again, a lot of the gyms have childcare, but when it's a special needs,
Yes.
it's over and above than what a lot of their qualifications are for.
Right.
So yes, and the time itself, it's like taking the time out to go to the gym is probably almost an impossibility in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta drive there and back, you gotta shower afterwards, and then there's the time actually at the gym. And
Yeah, next thing you know, that's 2 hours easily.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're upstairs and you have to wait for something because it's somebody else is sitting on it.
Yep.
Yes. Or your kid's having a meltdown because you can't leave the nursery.
Yeah, they've done that happens too.
So you're spending 20 minutes in the nursery trying to get them off of you.
And it's like, gotta go, Bob.
Yes. Yes.
So that's where the Caregiver Fitness, where you can do it from the comfort of your own home, comes into play. So that's what I want to be able to show you in simple ways that we can do that. So the 3 things that we're going to focus in on are strength, mobility, and flexibility, because we need all of those. We need to move well, have our muscles and joints be able to work together, and we need the strength to be able to do our daily living things. And there are ways that we can do that at home. So the way we're going to do that is in exercise snacks. And for those of you that aren't here, we have a ton of snacks for camp. Take your pick, and we've got a bunch. But we're going to do a different kind of snack. We're going to do an actually exercise snack. So
Calorie burner instead of calorie intake.
correct, calorie burner instead of calorie intake. I love it. Yes, it's a short burst of exercise. It can be anything, and it can definitely be spontaneous. It's like if you feel that you need to move, that's the whole point, is you get up and move, especially if you've been sitting for a long time. So some of the ways that we can do that. How many of you like to sit through commercials? Nobody.
No.
And most of the time we want to get up and get a snack.
Yeah.
So why not do an exercise snack in place of going to the refrigerator and opening it up and staring at it and going, what do I want now? Or at least do something, and then you can go there and not feel quite so guilty for doing that. While you're in the kitchen waiting for something, you know, either to boil or the oven's warming up, you've got the counter there. You can do stuff. You can use the counter as a base of support. You've got cans sitting in the cabinet that if you pick them up, they're basically almost 1 pound a piece that you can do something with. Basically, anytime you have a couple of minutes. If you've been sitting at your desk for a while, it's like time to get up and move around a little bit and, you know, sort of recalibrate that brain so you can go back to doing what you were focusing in on before, and guarantee it's going to feel a lot better. That focus is going to come back real quick. So, with the strength snacks, we're going to do some simple ways that we can use our body weight, things around the house that we've talked about a little bit that will help us to maintain our muscle mass. Because our muscle mass allows us to do our daily activities, such as sitting down and getting up, the chair, the toilet. Those are all functional things that we have no option but to do. Picking up things and putting it on a tall shelf or in a tall cabinet. We've got to have the strength to be able to lift and mobility to be able to lift our arms up over our heads. We need to be able to squat down and pick something up. Such as carrying the groceries in one trip. Because all of us have done it.
We're very proud of ourselves.
And we're very proud of ourselves. We may
One more.
We may have 6 bags here and 5 bags here, but we're gonna carry it in.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So we need the strength to be able to do that. So the ways we're gonna be able to do that, we are gonna work on our strength snacks first. So the things that we are gonna play with today is sit to stand. And then we're gonna go into actually isometric holds. No weights are needed. We're gonna be using on tensing up the muscles because the muscle can't tell the difference between a weight that you're picking up that the muscle's contracting, or whether you're doing it just virtually sitting there and contracting in through your own body weight. So we'll do some for biceps, triceps, and shoulders. So the first one, we'll come in our chair, and we're gonna practice our sit to stands. Now the idea for the sit to stand is not to use your hands. Yes.
How do you want it? How do you want us?
Whatever way you don't have to use
what
your
do I
hands,
do
even
with
you're
my
doing jazz
hands?
hands here.
What do I do with my hands?
Here, we'll hold hands, we'll stand together, and
If we can do it together, we really got it.
So the way to get out of your chair is to scoot up a little bit, feet flat on the ground, and then you're just gonna lean forward because you're gonna try and then use your weight from your legs to come up to a standing position. And then reverse it, go back and sitting down, but not with that big old plop that a lot of people like to just land and come up. And then just, it's amazing what if you do this about 10 or 15 times, you start to feel it. So by leaning forward, you're just giving a little momentum, allowing that weight to transfer to the legs.
Especially if you have them days.
I went to the gym this morning and
One more time up. Since you guys went to the gym already, we will not make you do 15 or 20 of those.
and Doc's doing extra work too here.
I know.
Oh, yeah, he's
With his lovely little brace on here. So, all right. So the next ones are going to be our isometric holds. First one's going to be biceps. So when we're doing a bicep curl, you're curling it up, usually all the way up to here, but we're only going to come about halfway up. And you're going to create a fist with your arms, and I want you to tense up like it's Flex Friday.
There we go.
like you get ready for the gun show.
Yes,
Exactly.
like you're getting ready for the gun show.
It's
Like it's-
summertime, sun's out, guns out, we gotta have them ready.
So you hold that for 10 or 15 seconds, and then relax.
Muscle
For those of you that are not here, you really are missing this. I really say that. Yes. And so we'll do that again. So again, create those fists because that's going to help create the tension. And then just really try and create as much tension through that bicep muscle as you possibly can. And release. So you can feel the difference even if you have a hand weight, you're going to feel that as you curl it up. Well, just by creating that tension, you can do the same thing. Now triceps, a little bit different. We're going to scoot up just a little bit. We're gonna set ourselves up similar to what we did for when we were getting up out of the chair. We're gonna lean forward, we're gonna take those arms back. Now you're gonna create those fists there and then squeeze the back of the arm as much as you can. And then hold that. And then relax. Do that one more time. So arms go back, shoulders are back, create the fists, and then squeeze those arms, squeeze the fists. And relax.
That's good.
So it's just, again, it's something simple that we can do. And then to help with all of us sitting, going like this on the computer or the phones or the tablets or whatever we're doing, even just reading a book, you're doing that too. For the shoulders, we're setting ourselves up initially like we did for biceps. So arms by your side at 90-degree angle, create those fists. Now I want you to pull your elbows back and squeeze those shoulder blades and then hold that there. You're also pulling in your core muscles while you're doing it. And then relax.
And how long would you hold this?
I would say 15 to 20 seconds.
And don't hold your breath.
Do not hold your breath. Good, yes, thank you.
And so do you, as you get better, do you just do more reps and still stay at the 15 to 20 seconds, or do you go longer?
You could do more reps. You could also then add the weight, like you know, grab the cans, that are in the thing, that add a pound or two in your hand, and then do the same thing and pulling back and holding, so you're adding just a little added resistance to that.
Hold the child.
Yeah.
Simba the
Hold
child.
the child.
Hold the child.
I had my Lion King shirt on
Hold the
earlier
child.
today.
Simba, my 10-year-old.
Yes. They'll enjoy
No, I
it.
They would really enjoy it.
Not gonna do it with my 22-year-old.
Me neither, my 19-year-old. She could Simba me before I could Simba her.
Exactly. All right. So those are some strength ideas that simple and easy to do. Again, incorporate everybody in the family to do it. So you've got that commercial break. Nobody wants to listen to the commercials, and they keep going on and on.
It can go longer and longer.
They keep going longer and longer. It's like when you find it on YouTube or whatever, it doesn't have the commercials, and it goes from 60 minutes to like 35. That tells you how many commercials there are, so there's plenty of time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so next on the hit parade is going to be mobility and flexibility. So the two are basically they're interlaced and connected with each other, but they do also function differently. So mobility is our ability to move freely and engage in daily activities without constraint. So it's primarily our joints, and then the flexibility allows our body to move in through a full range of motion. And they work hand in hand, because if your muscles are tight, you can't lift your arm up over your head. You can't bring your hip out to the side. So we want the muscles to be lengthened. We want them strong, but then also lengthening them so that we can get our arms up over our head or whatever direction that we need to go in. So, and as we get older, they start to stiffen up.
Mm-hmm.
They start to stiffen out. Part of it is because we don't use them as much, but then we start to become more cautious of how we're moving. If you notice with as you get to older adults, it's like their steps are very cautious. They're looking down versus being able to walk. It's like instead of taking bigger steps, they're taking smaller steps. Part of it is because they've lost the flexibility in their ankles and their hips, and so they're concerned with falling, and it's rightly so. But by working on that, and I do that with a lot of my older adults in some of my senior classes as well. We do whatever my classes is like. We work on the mobility and flexibility as well as whatever exercises we have going on. To be like, oh, this is what my physical therapist had me do too. It's like, that's the idea.
Because
That's
it
the
works.
idea.
Wow.
So, how well can you move your joints? We've got our ankles, our knees, our hips, our shoulders, our elbows, our wrists, and rotation from your spine, because that's also another factor that we've seen when you get the dowager's hump and people are just curved over versus coming up and being able to come into a standing position, is because the upper back just gets so tight, and it just, that forward motion just keeps drawing over and over. And the more forward head motion we have, did you know that for every inch that your head moves forward is an extra 10 pounds that
What?
that your head has, that your body has to try and support because it's out of balance. So it's like, yeah, coming here, and it's like, this is like an extra 10 pounds that your body has to try and recalibrate.
Good to know.
It's like, ah!
So I told him he's on slouch. Slouch. Adds another 10 pounds to your head. I'm gonna tell him that. I learned that tonight.
There we go. Yeah, tell him his head's gonna weigh about 50 pounds if he keeps bringing it forward.
I'll tell him.
It's gonna fall right off. So, let's do some of the mobility. So first off, let's start with just loosening up the wrists. So just wrist circles, something simple. See, there's crackles already. There's crackles already.
Snap, crackle, pop.
And in both directions. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That involuntary yoga I do.
And then ankles, again, ankle circles.
Hey, my physical therapist made me do this.
Yep. Another direction. And I do watch in some of my senior classes where it's like they're literally going like this because the ankle has no movement left in it. So which means then they're walking, I want to say more like a Frankenstein in a way, because they have no movement in their ankle, and then a point and a flex. And then let's do the other one just so we're even. We've got enough lopsidedness in our bodies. We don't need any more than we already have.
Absolutely.
Another direction. Yep. And then point and flex.
That was a good pop.
There you go. And we'll bring that foot
Nice.
down.
Nice level.
So with those, and then just with the shoulders, just doing some shoulder rolls. This is where the good crackles come. And again, both directions. One more time around, and then we'll work on the hips. So hips we're going to work in a couple of different ways. It's actually, the first one is going to be more hips and lower back. For those of you who want to get on the floor, you can do this on the floor, but we're doing it in chairs. And all we're going to do is basically do a butt walk on our chair. So we're just going to lift one butt cheek, another one, and just come up towards the end of the chair. Not off the chair, please.
I'll try.
And then back.
But if you can hold chair pose, it'll be impressive.
It will. See, yeah, you're doing it.
I'm not off the chair.
Off the chair and
hold
Oh,
chair pose without the chair.
That'd be impressive.
All right, come about halfway up on your chair. And again, you can do this, yeah, it's actually fun to do it on the floor too. Just stick your legs out in front and then just let your butt walk across the floor.
You do it. Jiu-jitsu, we do.
And then we're gonna work on the hip flexors. So with that, all we're doing is pick up the foot, bring it around to the side, pick up the foot, and bring it back.
Put your right foot in.
Put your right foot out. Pretty much.
Pretty much.
And then we're gonna need you to half kick and then full kick. We're together in a line here, so.
Go, and kick.
Yes, perfect.
I didn't know we had the Rockettes tonight.
You do.
All right, let's switch
You
legs.
do.
Other side.
I don't know if any of us are tall enough to be a rocket.
Rockettes aren't all that tall.
Are they?
They had to be over a certain height
Did they?
to join, yeah.
I wouldn't be.
I don't know. Their legs go everywhere.
Yeah, their legs have to
Doesn't
be a
really
certain
Their
matter
legs
at
have
that
to be a
point.
certain
Yeah,
length.
they,
Their torso can be 3
One
inches.
more.
yeah.
Right.
I would definitely not
I
make
think they
it.
said you had to be 6 foot tall at least to be a rocket.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Now maybe the road show, because I remember seeing one on a road show, and they ran the gamut from, they had the shorter ones on the end and then the taller ones in the center.
Mhm.
But they were not all 6 foot. They were not even close to Now, maybe for New York on Broadway,
Yeah,
that may be another
maybe.
story, but
Yeah.
on
They
the
could
road
be
show, it was
picky
not.
there.
Now, last thing for the, we're gonna work on the upper back. So we get to do this again. What you started with, what
I
for our
like
sit
it.
to stand.
Yes.
I said, and for those of us that are old, I call it the I dream of genie stance.
Oh.
I like that.
And then we just rotate to the right and to the
One of
left.
my favorite shows.
Don't ask me to, twirl my
Twi-
nose.
yeah,
that's
it's
not,
like- yeah.
that's not gonna work.
I can't twinkle my nose.
No, she did. She
She
did
went like this.
eyeballs. No, you're thinking Bewitched.
Oh,
okay, I mixed
yeah,
that
She
you're
did the
right.
nose.
Oh.
No, I dream of genie.
She blinked.
She did the she blinked the eyes.
I'm
But she'd always bring her hands up here and go,
Yes. Well, I liked both of them, so.
yes.
Ooh, I'm really tight here.
And this one I do like doing in the chair versus standing because it forces I won't say forces, it keeps our hips
Straight.
from not turning with us and just focusing in on that mid-back rotation. And yes,
I'm cheating with my hips, aren't
It feels
yes you are.
good.
That's part of it because you've got the brace on your
I?
foot.
I'm cheating a lot.
And then we'll come back to the center.
Cheater.
But again, this is something nice. It's like if you've been sitting in your chair for a while, like the sit to stand,
Mhm.
the rotation. Somebody can get up and just do a little jog just to get their energy going again, or mini jumping jacks. You can do the mini jumping jacks in the chair and just do this. If the kids can't get out of the chair, it's like, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or mom and dad don't want to get out of the chair, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
Get a little bit of chair cardio in.
It'll be a commercial game.
Exactly.
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 So adding, and then adding fun music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adding music to it. It's like you put on a song that everybody likes and pick something to do, and everyone can have a good time with it. It's like exercise does not have to be boring or. That's why I love teaching my classes, because the classes are done to music and it's motivating for the members. It's when I say this, like we got 30 seconds left. They're like, okay, I can do this for 30 seconds.
Yes. Yes. You do anything for 30
You can
seconds.
do anything for 30 seconds. So now we're going to add into our flexibility. So we've got our overhead reach, our side bending, and then also our spine bending. So we're going to hit the spine going laterally and then forward and back. So as we did earlier, it's like that overhead reach. We've got to be able to have our arms reach up almost parallel to our body and then come back down. And yes, this is where it starts to feel stiff again.
In a good way.
In a good way, or you start to realize where your muscles are tense.
Mhm.
And for a lot of us, it's like, especially for the shoulders and upper back, it's like there's so many muscles that are up there. We overuse some and underuse others. And then my massage therapist gets a huge workout.
Oh, but they love it when they get that knot. They're like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's so satisfying.
All right, bring it on down. All right, so since we're this way, sit up just a little bit more on the chair. We will do the forward and back. So this is more from yoga, so we're just more do a seated cat-cow. So what that actually means is that as we take a breath out, chin drops to the chest, push the belly in towards the lower back, and we just start to round forward. And then as we breathe in, we're gonna just arch the back and look all the way up. So just pull the shoulder blades back, exhale, round the back, come forward. Inhale, open the chest up to the ceiling. Exhale, come forward one more time. And then inhale up. And then back to our center. And then actually we can do it on these chairs. So for the side bending, I'm gonna move to the side. So it's visually it's a little better. You can do it on whichever way you guys work the best. So we're gonna drop the one leg down. Then we take that arm, reach it up towards the ceiling first, like we're doing that overhead stretch, but then we're gonna reach over to the side, it's almost like you're trying to reach the top of the chair. And then I want you to breathe into the ribs. So if you need to put your hand there or not, breathe in and just feel those ribs expand. And then exhale, let it go. Another breath. And then we'll break that arm down. Come to the center, and then we'll do the other side once again so we're not lopsided. And this is a nice stretch if you just wanna bring your knee straight down towards the floor, open up that hip flexor and give it a little bit of a stretch. You can pull it back a little bit more. Then arm up overhead, big exhale to lean over as if you're trying to grab the top of that chair. And then breathe into the ribs again. And you will probably find one side is tighter than the other. That's normal. One more breath in. Breath out. And relax. All right. Let's see here. That. So we did all those. Super good. So we made our list and we did those. So we got it all through. So did you guys have any aha moments with anything that we did or we talked about?
You can do a lot in a chair.
You really can.
Yeah.
You really can. And that's why it's like, and so, you know, from an exercise snack standpoint, it's like those 2 or 3 minutes throughout the day add up. So it's, you don't have to donate an hour and a half, 2 hours to go to the gym, to do, you know, you can do a little bit at a time over the period of your day when you have those couple of minutes, and those will add up. It doesn't, you know, there's no hard and fast rule that you have to spend an hour doing something. You know, if you can get small components in throughout the day, it still adds up to the same thing as if you went and concentrated a full block of time to it. So that's really what a lot of people I think hesitate for, because they think that they have to donate so much time. But if you can create those little blocks, you know, just like we do time blocking if we want to do a project or something, it's like, okay, we'll work on this component, or then we'll work on this component. And the same as with exercise, it's like, I will do that, you know, I've got 2 minutes, I can do 10 sit to stands or something, you know, or jog in place for 90 seconds. And just to get some movement and stuff in. So, you know, that's what I hope that everybody can take away with, is that you don't have to do it all at once.
So I can be a couch potato and exercise.
There you go.
Yes, pretty much.
Well, it seems like a lot of
semi-couch potato.
Yeah.
Yes. It seems like a lot of these would be easy to turn into games too. You kept saying doing it during commercial. A lot of these.
Yeah.
All right, who can do this one, or who wants to do that one, or you know.
Well, I think, you know, too, especially for our audience with our caregivers and of individuals with special needs, this is something that can be easy for, you know, many of our kids and our adults with special needs, that can be fun for them to do as a family, sitting there and stretching, and, you know, strength and mobility and flexibility is always important. So it can be a game where the whole family can.
You know,
can
even
be a
if they
part of
can't
that
do a
and
complete sit to stand, it's like,
Right.
okay, I'm just trying to get out of the chair and then I can come back down.
We're still
You know,
engaging those muscles.
But still, you know, even just moving.
Yeah,
Moving whatever muscles you
moving the
can.
wrists around, moving the ankles
It's all
around.
good.
Well, I was so surprised, even this one, like
The
with
triceps, yeah.
nothing, like you really felt like that tightening and like that muscle working, even
Yeah.
if you didn't have anything.
Yeah.
And even 15, 20 seconds, it started to really like
You can start
work.
to feel it.
Yeah.
Feel a little burn.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know, you can do the same with, you know, just extending the leg, flexing the foot, and then just, you know, again, you know,
In the quad.
doing the quad. It's not quite as much as you feel it in the, you know, in through the biceps or the triceps, but you can still isolate that. In my, you know, with my class, my seniors, it's like, I'll even just have like 1 or 2 hand weights, to have them put it on the leg to add that extra 5-10 pounds, and then do that.
Yeah.
So that it gives them resistance, because a lot of them can't really do a full lunge or a full squat, but they can do a leg extension and add the weight on top of it, so that they're forced to really be able to hold it in place. So that's, there are pretty much ways to be able to do almost anything safely.
Yeah.
So I have a couple of ways, if anybody was interested in wanting to find out more of how we could possibly work together. I do in-person training sessions, either I go to people's homes, or at my home studio. Online, we could do it individually or as a small group. I'm starting up a new program called Living Room Fitness.
I like it.
Same thing, again, because I've also talked with, people that are more in outlying areas, so they don't have an access to, a gym or anything, and want to be able to do something. So, as we found out in 2020, it's like we can do pretty much anything virtually now,
Yeah.
online.
Yep.
So, and it's something I've wanted to put together for a long time. So, with Living Room Fitness, yes, we can exercise from the comfort of your own home. And this was based on some marketing research that I had done. I'm going to be offering 2 options: live online sessions twice a week for those that want and feel they want that community as if you were in a class, but it's a virtual class. Or because of their schedules, they've asked for just like, can I get a video that I can do, when I get home from work or whatever, because the times don't work for me. And then each workout is approximately like 35 to 40 minutes. And if you needed to split that up into 2, it's like, okay, you got 2 15-minute blocks.
Right.
Again, focusing on those 3, strength, mobility, and flexibility, because we just need to keep all of them going.
Yeah.
You don't use it, you lose it.
Pretty much. So, and we use resistance. Oh, that's what I forgot to. I was going to bring them. Resistance bands. Literally, they look like big old rubber bands. They're about this long, and it's a big loop band. And it's amazing what you can do with those, because they come in a set of different resistances. We can do them, stepping on them. You can attach them to something, whether it's the handle of the door. We can put it on the handle of the door. Put a little thing on it. You can pop it over the door top and close the door and use it from there. You can use a partner, and you can each take turns pulling. But they're easy to use. They're easy to store, because most people don't have a lot of space for, to get a bunch of hand weights and this and that, or what do I do with them if you have, if wheelchairs. I mean, you don't need to run into that while you're trying to get somebody from one place to another. They're easy to travel with. I've thrown them in my suitcase. They don't take up a whole lot of space, and then I can use them wherever. And they're cost effective. I mean, you can usually get a set for about $30 around, slightly under $30. So
You can get them on Amazon.
yes, and I have multiple times. And it's a great tool. The resistance of the bands are a little bit different because you're actually working it in both directions, where the weight so much we're working it more so in one direction. But as we know with rubber bands, if you let it go, it's going to snap. We probably don't want to do that. With that, it's like, working online or whatever. I just, especially with new people, I want to help take away the intimidation, the time commitment. You don't have to travel. You can stay at home, and the big equipment expense. But I also want to give you the support, the guidance, especially if you're just starting off. You need that guidance. You want somebody am I doing it the right way? How many times should I be doing it? Am I using the right, am I using the right band for what I'm supposed to be doing? The accountability. Okay, it's like you said, you're going to show up today. Where are you? It's like, yes, we need, let's do this. Or I had a bad week. All right, let's talk about it, and let's not have another bad week in a row. Let's look, what can we do to change that for this week coming up? The community, by creating that community, and then the success, because ultimately, anybody that I want to work with, I want to create this to be a lifelong habit that you can maintain and do. Will there be modifications along the way? Absolutely. But to be able to stay active and move well. And as caregivers, the biggest thing is that you have to take care of yourself. You're so busy taking care of everybody else that you're putting yourself in second to last position, if not last position. And the reality is that if you don't have enough to give, everybody's gonna be cut short, including the people that you want to be helpful with, and along with yourself. It's like you don't need to wear yourself down. Exercise is great emotionally, physically, and mentally, all the way around. Even if it's a little bit at a time, and it's, it doesn't matter where you start from. It's just that you get started, and that's usually the hardest step to get going, is starting with it. What I include with that is also a movement analysis, because we need to know how well you're moving, because if we need to make modifications on the program or whatever we're doing with, okay, it's like, this isn't working for you, so I want you to do it this way. So that you're getting the most benefit out of whatever exercise that you're working with. I'm gonna create a private Facebook group so that people can get together, ask questions. Guarantee if you have a question, 15 other people have the same question going on. Also including weekly calls where we can all get together, ask that question. There'll be a particular topic that I'll cover. There's a zillion and a half topics. Everybody, you know, even in discussion, they'll come up. So that we can dive maybe a little bit deeper into certain things, nutrition, mindset, you know, whatever the topic may be. And I wanted this program because I've been a program junkie myself. I buy stuff and then I don't use it just like everybody else does.
Yeah, the fact.
But one of the things you know, with some of those is that they hand you the workout, you know, you get the email, you print it out, whatever, and then you don't do anything with it because there's really no follow-up. And especially if someone's just starting off, you need someone to follow up with you. You need that person to be there again. Okay, am I moving? Am I moving right? Am I, like you said, how many times do I need to do it? Well, what happens if this happens, or what should I do if this happens? So, you know, having someone that you could reach out to, and that there's a consistency on that's where I wanted to make sure that it was different. And I think we are, so, and I can send this to an email to you as well. I have my Calendly, which is my online calendar, so if anybody wants to call, you know, set up an appointment to just even ask questions, you know, have concerns or something about that, or find out a little bit more information, I'd be happy to talk with anybody about that. The idea is just to make sure that, you know, everybody's being able to take care of yourself. The caregivers are taking care of everybody else except themselves. And I want you to be able to take care of you as well, because you'll find that it's really important. And if they see you taking care of yourself, then they're more likely to do little extra things for themselves. It makes a big difference.
Do you have an email as well in case someone would want
Yes.
to email you to ask a question?
Yes,
So-
I will give that to you as
You
well.
want to just share that too?
Yeah,
and then I'll-
It's Judy, Judy, @empoweredfitness.today. I love the way that came up when I was first getting it, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
It's today you start.
So today you start. It's like, there's no better day than today. So I love that. And then I will also send you the link so that we can post with the video. Is as a bonus is that all the exercises that we did tonight I put together in video format so that you can use it as a guide and reference. So whenever you feel you need that exercise snack, you can just pull up that little video and do whatever portion of that exercise snack that you want, and throw on some music, add your kid into it, and off you go. And then the last but not least, a big thank you to all of you for, whether you're live, thank you for being here and putting up with me.
I love it.
And or online, thank you for coming back and watching this at a later date. And please feel free to reach out to me. Again, I will get the information with Doc. We'll get that posted on the website or on the Facebook page too, for my email, the Calendly, and then also the YouTube link for the exercise snacks. So I appreciate your time tonight, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was fun.
Good.
That was great.